So I stood up in the middle of the aisle in front of all those people on the plane, and I told him, I was like, yo, I don't know if you thought I was joking. I don't know if you thought I was playing, but I'm letting you know I ain't doing this no more. Like, no more. I'm not doing this. Because, Pusha have a tendency to hear me and be like, okay, but he coming. I ain't listening to that or whatever. But I just let him know in case you didn't hear me the first time. It's a wrap.
All right, Informant back in the building. So we all remember the rapper No Malice from the rap group Clips, right? Remember the famous interview that I just played when he said he's leaving the music industry. And he definitely did that for a while. But as of recently, probably like the last 3-4 years, he's now back with his brother. And now somehow they gained the trajectory to be super popular again, which I don't know. I think it's their alignment with Pharrell Williams, which is like the creative director of Louis Vuitton. So Pharrell is playing with those people in a major way. But my thing is, every time I see No Malice in interviews or in any settings when he's just talking, he's always quoting the scriptures.
Is in the suffering when you understand that, this ain't gonna help you. Your friends, your relationship, your girlfriend, parents, nothing is gonna help you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Until you get into that word of God. That's where I get all my peace from.
And it's kind of confusing because he's giving off that spiritual aura, but he's in a demonic industry. And we all know you cannot serve two masters. And he know the scriptures very well. And I'm not super religious or nothing like that. But for Malice to always be quoting the Bible, but is playing around in the industry like the way he's playing around. And if you see him and his brother performing on stage, one of them is wearing red, one of them is wearing black. So they're doing symbolic imagery on stage in front of people. And if you pay attention and if you know this stuff, you will know that red and black, just like how they did DMX funeral, red and black, that's demonic, bruh. So basically, I'm saying it seems like Malice is playing both sides of the fence. He's even rapping on stage. He's cursing. He's not bleeping those words out. So is the spiritual side of him just a ploy to garner a different audience while he's still dibbling and dabbling into the darkness? It's kind of confusing. And Malice has been in the music industry since the early 2000s, if not the late 90s. And he's seen the dark side of the industry for sure, because the success of the mainstream platforms that they had to sit down with certain people to know what's really going on. So for him to step foot back into the industry again, but still is preaching every chance he get, I don't know how to take it. It's like hypocrisy, because we know for sure that the industry requires them to do certain things to maintain a certain level of popularity and visibility. All I'm saying is, if he's going to keep preaching, he got to pick a side, because you can't serve two masters. Like I said, just like the movie Constantine, they got the demons and they got the angels. You can't be both. And it's hard for me to believe that Malice could keep his beliefs and his morals intact while being in this industry. I just don't think it's possible. If y'all think it's possible, let me know in the comments. Do y'all think that you could be in the music industry or the entertainment industry overall and still maintain a certain level of spirituality? Truly. Because we all know the industry is about putting you in compromising positions. That's all they do, to get a leverage on you, to get you to do what they want, represent a certain message. Like, I don't know if it's possible. Y'all let me know. But to think of it, Malice isn't the only one that went religious and still try to play in the dark industry of entertainment. We know, we all seen Kirk Franklin doing the most He did a freestyle on BET, which was very questionable.
The lion and the lamb were bowed down to the goat. Blasphemy!
He was talking about the lamb and then God bowing down. Just some real dark stuff. And aside from that, every time we see Kirk Franklin, he wants to be around all of the entertainers, like rappers and movie stars. Like, he wants to be in that industry. And then his relationship with TD Jakes, it's a lot of shaky situation. These guys that claim to be men of God has some very questionable actions. And it seemed like Kirk Franklin gets possessed when he's on stage. I don't know if he be drunk or what be going on with him, but this behavior, the way he dressed, them tight ass pants, everything about Kirk Franklin is very questionable, and it's questionable with alignment with his so-called faith, right? Like I said, I'm not super religious, but anyone with common sense would think that when you say you're a pastor or a bishop, you don't do the things that you see Kirk Franklin doing on stage, looking drunk, looking possessed, like he has some type of different entity controlling his body. And you don't see pastors and rappers and entertainment mixing hand in hand like how Kirk Franklin does. So I even think that's a joke. I'm sorry. I think the 5013C, that's what make Kirk Franklin claim to be a pastor. Because from what I see, Kirk Franklin would love to be a rapper or a movie star or anything except a pastor. Because he's getting so loose that sooner or later, Kirk Franklin is going to do something that's going to, quote unquote, shock the world as far as with his actions. Because like I said, we all seen him. I don't know if he be drunk or he be possessed, but Kirk Franklin got some questionable actions. Overall, what I'm saying is, do y'all think that these people could really be religious like they say they are and still participate in the industry that's filled with darkness and trying to put people in compromising positions to have leverage over their life so they could push certain things that's going with their agenda? Do y'all think that's possible? I don't know. This is just my perspective. And it may be possible, but I want y'all to let me know in the comments. Could Malice and Kirk Franklin be genuinely religious, but yet take part in the music and entertainment industry? Let me know in the comments. The Informant, I'm out.